Best advice I can give to somebody who tends to overthink is to get a hobby, and if you are a man of faith, a person of faith, then pray. These are the two things that I have tried and tested and have never failed me. And what better to do than in a hobby? Like drawing is the easiest hobby, most rewarding, and it's not even that expensive. All you need is a paper and some pencils, and you can just draw. So what I have noticed is that when I'm busy with a drawing project, or I'm busy with a knitting project, or a sewing or a crochet project, I don't even know if there is such a thing as overthinking in this world. I don't even know if that exists. But the moment I'm done with that project, or the time when I'm not doing anything, I'm just idle, even if I'm watching television, or even if I'm doing some other tasks, the mind is being bombarded with thoughts, random thoughts, sometimes random, sometimes unnecessary thoughts about the future, about what's going to happen, what would happen 5 years later, a year later, a month later, or sometimes there are random thoughts about the past, about what happened. Like both of these things, the past you cannot change, the future you cannot control. What you can do is you can have your control about the present, and that's what matters. So we spoil our present with overthinking about the past or the future, and both of them, they do matter, but not as much as the present. So, because in my religion or my faith, overthinking can also be um, called the whispers of Satan, and it has been advised that I seek refuge from the whispers of Satan as many times a day as I want to. And so it's easier for me to recognize this, that most of these negative thoughts that are coming to my mind could be actually originating from an outer source and not my own head. So that saves me from directly falling to the conclusion that I might be going crazy because I am not thinking all those thoughts myself and they're coming from an outside source. So, for me, the formula that works best, and it always works, is that I have to get myself busy doing some task. I get a hobby or I learn something new. I learn probably a new language or I learn some skill, and I just busy myself in that, and I keep repeating that. Like if I learned how to sew, I learned how to knit and crochet, and in drawing also I like to learn new methods and new skills. So I like to learn new ways of editing a video, and so I like to read and I like to learn new languages. And so I have devised this method in which I keep myself busy and I keep praying as well. And in praying, I give myself targets of how much I'm going to pray every day. So I give myself targets of how many times I'm going to repeat a prayer, and that also, in a way, keeps my mind busy with the number of prayers I've said or not, whether I've reached my target or not. So, all in all, these true strategies, they help me keep my mind really busy, and I don't get time to think of unnecessary thoughts. And it's easy for me to flush out or to just throw out the unnecessary thoughts that are coming to my mind, whispered through Satan or my own fears or whatever. I just get a lot of help from these two things, that I don't overthink when I'm busy learning something new, when I'm busy doing a craft work or any skill, learning a skill, whether it is a language or anything. So I would really suggest that, especially the younger generation, especially the teenage children, they should try not to stay idle. And in fact, I think it's something that affects everybody at some stage of life. So I would recommend that do not stay idle and keep asking whoever you believe in, according to your faith. You keep asking that supreme being, God, for help, and you try to stay busy in some positive work, in some kind of positive hobby. You should stay busy, keep yourself busy, learn a new skill, learn a new language, and try to do it every day. Try to give a lot of hours to that new skill every day. Try to stay busy learning something new and never stop at that. Like if you've learned one skill, then you can, if you think you've really learned it well, you can move on to the next skill. There can be so many skills like calligraphy. I have already on the list of my things that I wish to learn so many things that I don't even know if I have that much life. So I would seriously recommend that don't overthink about this as well, and as soon as possible pick up a hobby and start learning something new as a hobby. Why as a hobby? Because then it won't give you that compulsion, that sense of compulsion won't be there. You will be enjoying it more. And learning a skill, when you call it a hobby, makes it so much easier. And yeah, baking is also one of those things that you could learn. And well, there can be so many skills that one could actually learn, and they can also pay off as a side hustle, and they can actually be used as a side business. So yeah, it's always good to keep learning new skills, and they save you from a lot of headache, and they save you from a lot of overthinking and unnecessary thoughts that you don't really need in your life anyway. And when you're a very skilled person, your self-esteem and your confidence and your approach towards life, everything changes. So this is what I've learned from my life so far, and I think I have been very successful in doing this, that I have kept myself away from unnecessary thoughts. I've saved myself from the heartache and the tears that I would have shed probably if I had not been busy learning new skills, and I would have been idle and overthinking about unnecessary things, and I might have gone into a severe form of depression if I hadn't kept myself busy with the things I'm passionate about. And I kept learning, and I'm still learning, and I will still be um, learning more, God willing, as long as I live. I believe that till the day I die, I will be learning new things, because that's important for my sanity. That's something crucial and extremely important for me to stay sane and not lose my head overthinking about unnecessary things. And one more thing which you might need is have it out once in a while to the closest friend that you have. That is also important at times because sometimes you have to let it out, everything that's uh, piling up in your head and in your heart. You have to let it go sometimes. Sometimes they come out in the form of tears, and sometimes they can come out in the form of just random words or sentences that you share with your friend, that one friend that you have, everyone has, and it is a great blessing to have such a friend that you can share everything with. So it is important to have it out at times, but that is apart from this strategy that we need. We need to keep ourselves busy all the time. Otherwise, these random thoughts, they make us overthink and they can make us go crazy one day, which we have to prevent.